All right, so here's our review video to help you with Unit 2. And here's also a magic trick where I turn this dice into a bunch of little dice. Well, let's get some magic going with our math. So we got some review going on here first. So make sure you do know how to do these problems. I've seen them on a couple from the first section and the second section on the Unit 2 test. So we always have our cumulative review on these tests. Here we go. So this first one is actually FG4. It's kind of weird notation, but it's asking for f of x equals 4 times g of x equals 4. This is back in Unit 1. And so they're basically having us plug in 4 into our function, into both functions, and then multiply their outputs. So we got to multiply their outputs separately, carefully. Multiply their outputs. So if we plug a 4 in here, we get 4 minus 1 is 3. And we got 3 times, plug in 4 in here, that's 4 squared plus 2. Just do the math video, you're fine. And then 4 squared, oh, I already put it over there for you, just on the table. And then 4 squared plus 2, so that's 16 plus 2, which in fact is 18. Let's go. And so if you think about what 20 times 3 is, 20 times 3 is a 60. And then we're going to take away 2, take away 2, take away 2. So that's going to be 54 is what we got there. 54, beautiful. So then we have a g of f of x. What does that mean? So that means we take graph x minus 1 and we plug it into g. And wherever you see an x, the x goes away, don't bring it with you, it just goes away, and in its place is the new equation. So instead of x squared plus 2, which is g of x, right? We're going to take f and we're going to plug that in there. And so f is x minus 1. And so we're going to go ahead and plug in there, x minus 1. And then that's our new composition function that we have to simplify. And so we have 2 of them. So we have x minus 1 times x minus 1. And so make sure you multiply them like that. Don't just square the first and last term, because you have your middle terms. Don't forget your middle terms. And so then you seashell. Seashell. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. Negative 1, another negative 1 times x is a negative 1x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. And we have plus 2. There we go. And so with that, wow, my eraser's not working today. There it is. Okay, so then we end up with minus 1x, and minus 1x is minus 2x. And then we have a plus 1 plus 2 is plus 3. And we just bring down our x squared. So we combine like terms. We get x squared minus 2x plus 3. So g of x minus of f of x could very well be on the test. So you take g of x, which is x squared plus 2, and you minus f of x, which is x minus 1. Let's make sure it is. Yep. And so then you do have to distribute and change the signs on both terms for f of x. So distribute the x, negative, distribute the negative. So you get x squared plus 2 minus x, but a plus 1. Whoa. And then we have a plus 2 with a plus 1 that we can combine. So our final answer is x squared minus x plus 3. Whoa. I forgot to say the magic phrase. Stop watching and copying it down. You're going to fail the test if you do that. Pause me. You behind the screen, thanks for watching. Pause me though. Try number 4 on your own, 5 on your own. Pause me in between each problem. So make sure you pause me. So what do you think FOG means? You got to remember what that means. So that means a composition. So this means it wants you to go f of g of And so f of g of x also means you want to take the function g and plug it into f. And so that'll be the easier way, because f is space minus 1, right? An x minus 1. But what you're going to do in place of x is you're going to plug in the x squared plus 2, which is g of x. And so you're going to plug that, just plug that right in there. In place of x, remember the x goes away, so in place of it. So then we just get x squared plus 2. We drop, pause me. We drop the, try it on your own. We drop the parentheses, and we get 2 minus 1 is just a 1. Way-o. There we go. Okay, do you remember how to work with complex numbers and radicals? You're going to see 1 or 2 or 3 of those on the test, the review section. So make sure to always distribute our negative through. So we get, pause me, try 5 on your own, pause me. So you get minus 3 minus 2i. Pause me. Try it on your own first, then push play, see how you did. So minus 12, negative times a negative is a positive 5i. Then we just combine the i's like they're x's. Except for if you ever get an I squared, that becomes a negative 1. That's the special part about imaginary. So we have a 5i with a negative 2i. And so 5i minus 2i is 3i. Ew. And then we also have a negative 3 with a negative 12. You took 3 apples off my tree. You took 12 more. You owe me how many apples? 15. So it's going to be 3i minus 15. As our answer. As our answer. Here we go. 3i minus 15. Good. 6. You're going to seashell, but you're not. It looks like you only have a parenthesis with the 6 minus 8i. So, but you know what? I noticed that I squared already. Probably turn that to a negative if you can. Make it a lot easier. So this is going to be 3 plus 2 I squared. So remember that I squared is equal to negative 1 squared, because I is negative 1. And so that's a negative 1 times a negative 1, which is a positive 1. And that is not true. What? What is I again? I is, no, I is not negative 1. I is the square root of negative 1. That's it. And so you cancel the square root of the 2, so I squared is just a negative 1. So whenever you see an I squared, you can replace it with a negative 1. So that becomes a negative 1. So now we have 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2. And we have a 3 minus 2, which is 1. Way-o. So then we, wow, that's actually pretty easy, because now you can just distribute that 1 through, and you get 6 minus 8i back again. And that's it. Try number 7 on your own. Pause me. Try 7 on your own. Pause me. So we seashell. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10, so 10i. Negative 3i times 4 is negative 12. I comes along for the ride. And then negative 3i times 5 is negative 3 times 5 is 15. And then I times I is I squared. I squared is negative 1. Negative 15 times negative 1 is a positive 15. And then we have a positive 15 with an 8. So that's going to be 23. And then 10i minus 12i is a negative 2. 10 minus 12. Gave me 10 apples, but then you took 12 back. You owe me 2. Off my tree. So, let's see here. So yeah, so negative 2. Negative 2i. Way-o. So pause me. Try the next one on your own. Remember, these got to be separate, so you're adding them separately under the house. So the square root, right, of negative 100. This one looks familiar. A negative 100, square root of negative 100 is 10. Square root of 100 is 10. And then the negative becomes an I. plus the square root of 8. No, square root of 64 is 8. And the square root of negative is I. And you add those together and you get 89. Way-o, just doing a math video, way-o. For our review coming up. And then 2 times 5 is 10. So you can multiply those whole numbers with whole numbers. And radicals with radicals, way-o. And so when you do that, you get the square root of a negative, so 12 times 3, what's that, 36? Nice. And then the square root of 36 is 6, and the square root of a negative is I. And then you get 10 times 6i is going to be 60i. Nice. Okay, so last but not least, number 10. So don't forget if you have a negative for the test, cumulative review. So don't forget if you have a negative exponent, you're going to bring it down and make it positive. And if you have a negative exponent in the bottom, you're going to bring it up and also make it positive. And you can add the powers. So you get 10x to the 6th power divided by 35 y to the 10th power divided by 5 divided by 5. So we get 2x to the 6th divided by 7y to the 10th power. And so that looks pretty good to me. And then there we go. So stay tuned. Try it on your own first. Watch the next video, but pause me. Try it on your own first. Thanks for watching. Good job. Keep on trying your best. Bye for now. Everybody say bye for now. 3, 2, 1. Bye for now.